Salvatla. My name is Sebastian and welcome to the channel. Now I typically talk about topics surrounding personal finance, investing, and anything that has to do with managing money to help myself and others like you reach financial freedom. Now when I say financial freedom, the part that I really care about is not the financial aspect. I mean, yes, having money or being wealthy is great, but that's not what's driving me. The freedom part, now that's what I really want. I want to have the freedom to choose how I spend my time. So I want to choose when to wake up, what to work on, when I could take a vacation. So I want the freedom to choose to do what makes me happy. Now to get there, I can't be dependent on someone else or a job or the government. I need to be able to make money on my own so I could cover my living expenses. So if on average I spend $4,000 every month on my bills plus food and sometimes going to the movies or restaurants, all things that we used to do, I need to be able to make somehow $4,000 or more after paying taxes. How am I going to do that? That's easy. That's investing. Now, how I'm investing and how I plan to get there, that's a little bit more complicated. So if you like this video at all and it helps you in any way, make sure you like it. It really helps out the channel. Now, let's get into it. In the example I gave, my investments needs to cash flow $4,000 or more every month. And then cash flow meaning the money that goes in my pocket. Now personally, I'm trying to get to $5,000 every month to make sure I could cover health insurance and have enough to reinvest. And then long term, I want to build enough wealth to not have to worry about money and I could focus on the other important things in life. And to me, wealth doesn't necessarily mean rich. It means to be able to generate money for myself. So if I stop working, can I still pay my bills and for how long? So the more I invest and minimize risks, the better chance I have of building wealth and creating cash flow in the process. So if I want to invest more, I either need to make more money from a job or a side hustle. And if I can't do that, I need to find ways to save more. So when looking at most people's expenses, the biggest are usually rent or mortgage, food, and transportation. So not getting coffee at Starbucks every day, or canceling your Hulu and HBO Now because you already had Netflix, or shopping at H&M, these are all good ideas to save money. But what's really gonna make a big impact on your savings rate is drastically reducing or eliminating your biggest expenses. And for me, that's rent. So if I can find a way to minimize it or not pay for it at all, I could save a lot more. And if I could save a lot more, I could invest a lot more. And that's where real estate comes in. Now, when you're buying a house, it could be a great purchase in the long run, but you still end up with a mortgage and all the expenses that are associated with being a homeowner. So you're still limited with how much you could save. But if you buy a 2 to 4 unit property, you could live in one and put tenants in the other units paying you rent, and that could help reduce or eliminate the burden of you having to pay for all these expenses by yourself. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So by the time this video airs, my girlfriend and I would have closed on our first 4-unit property. So we would live in one of the units and have tenants in the other units helping us cover the mortgage and all the expenses to operate the property. And if we play our cards right, we might not pay anything at all out of our own pockets while we live there. All the money we save will go towards our savings so we could buy another property and do the same thing over in a couple of years. Now, once we leave the first property and all the units are occupied, including the ones that we lived in, then the property will pay for itself, meaning that all the tenants will pay for all the expenses and the property will cash flow pretty well. So this strategy helps me with all the goals I have. I'll be able to reduce my biggest expense and increase how fast I could save. I'll have a property that is cash flowing. I could use that money to help me buy more properties to help me reach that total cash flow of $5,000 a month. And every time the mortgage is paid, I build equity in my overall net worth. Now, is it going to be easy? Is it guaranteed? I mean, of course not. Not everybody wants to be a landlord or deal with tenant issues. But to me, that's the cost of the freedom that I'm looking for and what I have to deal with until I could pay a property manager down the line to deal with all these issues. Another part of it is the risk of making a bad investment and losing all your money. I mean, definitely a concern, but a good investor don't just invest in anything. The risk they take is calculated and minimized by doing the proper research and understanding of what they're putting their money into. So I started doing my real estate research at the end of 2018, and since then I read books, blogs, watched YouTube videos, listened to podcasts. I went to a ton of real estate meetups, and I met a bunch of investors that are already doing the stuff that I'm trying to do. And I was already saving before that, so I started saving even more aggressively. All that to be as informed as I could about the risks I was taking and to have enough money available to pull the trigger once I found a great deal. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still a rookie, but I'm in a way better position than someone that started learning about real estate just 2 months ago. Are we gonna make mistakes? Probably, but should we let that fear of the unknown just stop us from trying? Absolutely not. If you're wondering why not invest in the stock market instead, well, I do, but so far I prefer real estate because of the control it gives me. So right from the beginning, I'm able to make decisions that could directly affect how much money I could make and how much equity I could create in a short amount of time. Now, I'll talk about specific numbers in future videos, so definitely subscribe if you want to see those. I know I said the ultimate goal is to not be dependent on a job, but having a job is part of the plan. So I don't plan on quitting anytime soon because it has its advantages. So on top of the regular perks like health insurance or company 401k match, it helps in terms of qualification if you're trying to buy real estate. With a W-2 income, you qualify for a broader pool of loan programs with better terms. So banks feel more comfortable loaning you money if they know that you have a reliable source of income and you could pay them back. So being self-employed makes you a riskier borrower, and that's gonna cost you a lot of money. Plus, that guaranteed income will help you keep a high savings rate and it will help you finance your future deals. So if you love your job, great, just keep doing it. If you don't, then find a different job. Just stay employed, at least for the short term. Now, once I reach my $5,000 a month goal, am I gonna leave the corporate world and pursue real estate full time? I mean, maybe, maybe not. I mean, once I reach that point, I'll have the option to choose what's best for me and not have to worry about if I'll be able to pay my bills. Now, that's the kind of freedom I want. So that's all I got for today. If you think this video was helpful, make sure you like it and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this video with a family or friend on Facebook, on WhatsApp, wherever, if you think they might be interested in that type of content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.